Hi friends, I'm Kitty and welcome to Little Wattle Nursery. I'm an adult doll collector that creates content that aims to encourage fun and positivity in our hobby. You are never too old for dolls and never too old for a hobby you love, so stick around and have some dolly fun. Hi friends and happy Friday. If you're new here, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to stop by my channel. My name's Kitty. Well, it's that time of the week again. It's time to have some fun with Casual Fun Friday, and I've brought out a couple of dolls from my collection to share with you today. And then a little bit later on in this video, I'm going to give you an update on Dolly-Geddon and also how I organise stuff here at Little Wattle Nursery. There might be some useful tips that I can share with you, so make sure you stick around for that as well. And I'll be updating you on some of the things that you can look forward to on our channel in the next few months. So, who do we have joining me here today? So, this is my vintage doll, Clara. And I've brought her out today because some of our regular viewers have said that they want to see more of the vintage dolls that I have in my collection. So Clara is an unmarked doll. Not unusual in Australia actually. Might be overseas in, say, the UK and the US, but not in Australia. It was very expensive to ship dolls to Australia in the 1940s, 50s and 60s, and so a lot of dolls were made in Hong Kong like this one. And reputable companies would engage the services of manufacturers in Hong Kong to make cheaper version dolls to ship to Australia, and this is one of them. So she's a little unmarked dolly that's got sleepy eyes. When you tip her back, she sleeps. And there's a lovely little story that I'm going to share about her with you later on as to how I acquired her. She's in this really sweet handmade christening gown. She came. I purchased her in this dress. I'm going to dress her into something different though today. Moving down here, you can see what I'm going to get her dressed into. This is the sweetest unicorn onesie that I got on sale for $8 at Best and Less. I couldn't believe it. It's a 00, so it fits 3 to 6 months, and it's got these gorgeous little sleeping unicorns all over the onesie. And I'm going to put this little headband, floral headband, on her as well. Super cute. But before I get her dressed, who is she with? Well, a couple of my favourite Reborn toddler dolls in my nursery. Over here, this is Anastasia Honor. Isn't she lovely? She's in her nursery outfit. She's looking very special in her nursery outfit. Look at these little shoes that she's got on. She's so super cute. Now, Anastasia is the Betty sculpt by Natali Blick, which is a sold out limited edition kit. It's one of my favourite kits in my collection. I've actually got two dolls, two Betty sculpts in my collection. She's been reborn by master artist Yaroslava Vyshkovskaya, and she weighs 2.7 kilos. She's 73 centimetres tall, and she has this beautiful hair that's been mono-rooted, which is one strand at a time in one follicle. Her eyelashes have been rooted, and her eyes are actually handmade glass from a German city, from Lauschka. She's got this beautiful peaches and cream complexion, and very subtle mottling, blushing and creasing, which is exactly how I like my dolls. So here is her paperwork. Isn't this sticker beautiful? I love what Yaroslava does. So gorgeous. Here's her paperwork. So she's number 451 of 999. There's the prototype on the front here. She's filled in the back, and here is the birth certificate. And over here is my beautiful Elizabeth Alexandra. She is the Love Buggie sculpt by Laura Tuzio Ross, which is also a sold out limited edition Reborn kit. Her Reborn artist is Denise Moncada, Little Lighthouse Reborn Nursery. And she's in her nursery outfit as well. She also has this peaches and cream complexion with the subtle mottling, blushing and creasing. I love her eyebrows. They're very realistic looking. She's a big buffer. She weighs 8 pounds and 13 ounces. She's got her ears pierced, which you can see over here. I think she's probably one of the only dolls in my collection with her ears pierced. And I absolutely adore her hair. It's this honey blonde premium mohair and it's gorgeous and curly. I absolutely love it. So here's her COA. She's 719 of 1750. There's the prototype on the front and there's some on the back as well. And here is her nursery certificate. So baby Clara, it's a very, very interesting story about how I acquired her. It was in 2020, the year that I started our YouTube channel. Our regular viewers already know this. I have been collecting dolls since I was 9 years old. That's when I saved up and purchased my first doll, where I was intentional about collecting dolls. But when I started a family, I stopped collecting for about a decade. And when we were travelling to our beach house one weekend away, we came across this trading post. And a trading post in Australia is an old building where once upon a time people used to trade things. And when you see them now, they're usually converted into halls, or in this case, it was like a pop-up second-hand shop. And little Clara was sitting out the front of the shop. And when we drove past in the car, I said to my husband, we have to stop and go back. There's a little vintage doll calling my name. So we literally turned around and came back, parked the car and went in to take a look at this second-hand shop. Now, when I first went up to Clara, because she'd been sitting outside in the dusty wind, she was all dirty and grubby, and I thought, I've got to show this little dolly some love. So I didn't pay a lot of money for her. She came in a sweet little christening gown that, you know, obviously somebody has made, or it could be someone's old christening gown, I don't know, but in any case it's been handmade. And on the back here you can see it says made in Hong Kong. So she's just, you know, there's nothing special about this little dolly. She's just an unmarked dolly, but she's been very, very loved and very, very played with over the years. And I don't know, there was just something really nostalgic about her that I had to have her. I had to bring her home. And she was the reason why I started actively collecting dolls again. I started pulling out a lot of my dolls that I'd had in storage for over a decade. And I started collecting, and we started the YouTube channel. So, as I said, there's nothing really that special about her. She's just a cheap, unmarked doll, but I love her molded hair. You know, she's had a crack down here that's been repaired. You know, there's a crack here. She's had some work done to her ear. So this dolly has been to the Dolly Hospital in the past for repairs. So she probably has quite a few tales to tell. But anyway, I just find her really sweet. I love these creepy sleeping eyes. They are quite creepy, aren't they? But anyway, I'm going to get her dressed now, and I'm going to update you on Dolly-Geddon. How's the nursery going? Have I managed to do any more work tidy anything else up, or has that fallen by the wayside? And then stick around a bit longer, and I'm going to show you how I try and keep things organized in terms of the channel. Sometimes life just gets busy and you can have all the plans in the world that you want, but videos may not come into fruition if there just isn't time to do them, which you're going to hear a little bit more about. But anyway, I'm going to get her dressed. Let's get on with the Dolly-Geddon update and how I try and keep myself on track and organised. So there's been no further progress with Dolly-Geddon. In fact, I've now got another box. This is another box opening. I've got another sized box like this one out in the garage. This one was delivered just recently, so there's going to be a box opening on our channel. So that's 1, 2, 3. So yes, I'm doing a box opening next week, so that's actually going to be removing one of the boxes, which is good. I still haven't scheduled when I'm going to be doing this shopping haul. That might end up being January at this stage. I haven't scheduled that yet. And I have made some progress with going through some things in the basket here and sort of planning what I'm going to do with that. So that's good. So this is how I try and organise what we do on the channel. Some of our viewers may not realise that it's not just a case of setting up the camera, adjusting the lighting, pulling out an outfit and dressing a doll. A lot of thought and effort goes into creating content. There's lots of planning. Sometimes there's note-taking, script writing, research. Thought has to go into what kind of doll am I going to demonstrate in the video, what outfit are they going to wear. There's just so many things that play a key role in creating content. So you can see here that the first thing that I do to try and plan and track my videos is that I obviously have a calendar. So I have a folder and I go month by month. And take, for example, we're in November here, and I mean, just recently I did the Dolly-Geddon video. So that was on the 8th. So what I've got here is when I'm going to publish videos. I record when I'm going to actually publish the videos. This does not take into account the planning, the research, the recording. This is just when I'm going to upload content. So you can see for the month of November, we had Freaky Friday. Today I'm talking about getting organised. I'm going to hopefully next week do a thrift challenge, and I'm going to finalise the details for our next Casual Fun Friday photo board gallery giveaway. I'm going to share the prize, and we've got a 3rd birthday coming up, and I'm going to announce the giveaway winner. And you can see here's Dolly-Geddon. I did a video on that earlier on in the week, and I've got some topics coming up, as well as, you know, a box opening and a few other bits and pieces, and I've got shorts to upload. And I apply this from month to month. So here's December. It's very busy. Whether or not I get through all of this, like I said, this is just a plan. Whether it comes into fruition is another thing altogether. But as you can see, Casual Fun Friday, I've got a theme coming up for that. I'm going to do a Dolly Roundup, and I've got the Christmas celebration series is returning, and I've got a few topics, and I've got a couple of box openings and things like that. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an update of what's going to be happening on the channel in the next couple of months, but it also gives you an idea of just the basics of what's involved. As I said, this is just dates that I plan to upload, and I like to upload something when I'm not so busy. I like to upload something nearly every single day, although, you know, a lot of the time it's just shorts, because the long content really does take a lot of work to plan. So moving on to the planning part, I just work out of a book like this, and you can see here, like take for example November, I've got to upload my shorts. I'm going to be publishing a video about a childhood doll that I recently pulled out of storage from my parents' house. Now, what it means by notes for childhood doll video, that means I've actually got to do a little bit of research on the doll to provide viewers with, you know, when it was manufactured, who it was manufactured by, you know, the accurate sort of details. I've got a script to write, and in fact that script I've been working on here. So I'm going to do a tips video, so I've been working on a script there. I've got to plan a thrift challenge, so I've got to decide what store I'm going to, what day, what things I need to plan to be able to, for that to be a successful recording day. I've got to plan a couple of box opening videos. Take, for example, our birthday video, what things I need to announce. I've got to write a script. Well, I'm actually doing that at the moment. It's part 4 of navigating YouTube's policies. I'm doing a video on copyright music, and I want to show viewers how to swap the music over if they get themselves into trouble. As you can see, I'm starting to do a bit of a script here. So sometimes I work just in note format. Other times I might write a script that I might refer to. I've got to post some Happy Mail this month, and I've got to schedule recording days. As I said on here, these items that I have here, this is when I'm going to publish them on YouTube. I actually have to record them, which is generally, you know, on the weekends, because, you know, I work during the week. So that kind of gives you an idea of what's actually involved in putting content together. And I hope that helps you understand why sometimes when my life gets a little bit crazy and Dolly-Geddon starts happening. Anyway, so that's how I try to organise myself. Like I said, you can have all the plans in place, but if you don't have the time to execute the plans, obviously videos will not come into fruition. And that's what's happened over the past few months on my channel, because I've had parents that have been unwell, and on the weekends when I would normally be recording content, I'm actually at their homes and I'm cleaning or dropping off food or running errands and that type of thing. But I hope this, I don't know, it might help some people if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed with Dolly-Geddon. Obviously, tidying the nursery and having that organised is one thing, but creating content is something that's something entirely different. And so I hope just by showing you what I do at my channel, I don't know, it might help others. And I hope that it just demonstrates to our viewers that we don't just switch a camera on and record. There is so much thought and effort that goes into creating content. And it's not just that 10-minute video that you're watching. Often it can be hours of work outside of that video. Welcome to our Casual Fun Friday photo board. I would like to say a big thank you to the following channel and viewers who sent through their gorgeous Casual Fun Friday photos. If you would like to participate in this photo gallery board, please look in the description box of this video for details on how to. One photo per week gives you one entry into our Casual Fun Friday giveaway, and I'm going to be drawing that in the next few weeks, so please continue to send through your photos. We really enjoy receiving them. Now let's move on to our weekly shout-outs honour roll. I would like to thank the following channels and viewers who come back week after week to support our content. We really appreciate all your encouragement and beautiful comments that you leave on our videos. There are some really fabulous channels listed in our honour roll this week. Please make sure to head over and check out those channels and show your support. Oh, look how sweet Clara looks in her little casual outfit for Casual Fun Friday. Now, I forgot to mention the reason why I called her Clara is because there's a running joke in our household. She's called Creepy Clara because these blue sleeping eyes really creep my husband out. So he calls her Creepy Clara. And no, she's not haunted. If you're wondering, she's not. But yes, that's why she's called Clara, because she's affectionately known as Creepy Clara. And I find that really interesting because I think she has the sweetest face. But there you go. My husband totally gets creeped out by the vintage dolls. My husband's uncanny valley radar just totally goes off. Full bore when it comes to these vintage dolls. He can handle the Reborn dolls. They're not a problem. It's these vintage ones that he gets a little bit creeped out with. But I'd be interested to know. Let me know in the comments. Do you find vintage dolls creepy? Or if not, are there any other types of dolls that you find that are slightly creepy? Well, thanks for joining us, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you soon. Bye for now.